Do more, get more.
I'll tell you what, let's go now to Tomas Manglona, who is standing by live. Tomas is, of course, in the CNMI, where he has not only been covering the tension of the political climate up there to our neighbors to the north, he's also been covering what has been an escalatingly, Tomas, alarming pace of the outbreak of coronavirus over there. So again, we send our thoughts and prayers to our neighbors to the north and everything like that. But how are the numbers this morning, and how is the attitude of the people in the CNMI?
Yeah, Jason, we haven't received the latest numbers just yet. As we know, yesterday they have about 43 new cases. That was yesterday. The total case count still remains around 855. We did receive a lot of updates with regards to the search that is happening here in the CNMI. Yesterday, the chief executive officer of the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation told media that there's the possibility of quarantine sites to be established on both Tinian and Rhoda. Of course, this is to avoid having to send all positive cases here to Saipan at either the Canoa Resort or Mariana's Resort. Again, these are just discussions happening. There haven't been any official word or statement yet from the governor's office about Tinian and Rhoda's possible quarantine sites. The chief executive officer, Esther Muñoz, also telling us that the ER is being slammed here on Saipan with people who are walking in presenting with symptoms. We did get a chance to interview the mayor of Rhoda, Ephraim Attilig, and the mayor of Tinian, Edwin Aldan, yesterday. They shared with us a little bit of what they'd like to see done. We posted those full interviews on YouTube. But Jason, we wanted to just play a quick clip from our interview with Mayor Aldan on Tinian, who provides his thoughts and his message to the community as Tinian identified some of its first community cases in the past week.
So for me, we go back and we continue to urge them to come in and get. It's not only for you, but it's for the community. It's for the healthy community that we're looking at. The health of the community is not personal. When you take it personal, that's more better. For your family. Think of your family. Come in and take your shots. The Tinian and Rhoda and the CNMI cannot be exemptions from the rest of the world. This COVID coming over to Tinian on through community is inevitable. It's gonna happen. Now it happened.
And did want to share the latest COVID-19 testing information for our listeners on Rhoda and Tinian. If you're on Rhoda, you can get tested for free for COVID-19 Monday to Friday from 1 to 2 or Saturday from 1 to 3 at the Rhoda Health Center. On Tinian, you can get tested at the Tinian Health Center Monday through Friday 1 to 2 or Saturdays from 12:30 to 2:30. Of course, you can always call to make an appointment. And we're also hearing of some possible restrictions soon, some new community guidelines that the CNMI governor is going to release. We were told we would have heard something at least last night. We didn't, but we're expected to hear either today or tomorrow morning at his COVID-19 press briefing that he holds every Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning. Some Tinian residents reaching out to me, messaging me, telling me that they would like to see some sort of restrictions or even a lockdown. As we reported last night in our newscast, Star Marianas has suspended all commercial flights indefinitely to Rhoda and Tinian, essentially not allowing anyone into those islands, given that they're the only airline. We reached out to Sean Christian of Star Marianas Air, and we hope to have an interview with him today for more information about that. And also last night, as we posted on our Instagram, the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation Board voted not to mandate the vaccine for school children who are eligible. They say that they want to focus instead on a public education campaign. However, they may revisit the issue if vaccinations and the circumstances here in the CNMI don't improve. They did receive several public comments during a 30-day comment period. Some of them were against this mandate, as to be expected. And along that COVID news, the CNMI, as similar with Guam, will be removed from the CDC COVID-19 travel recommendations. And so that's the latest that we're hearing with that. And Governor Torres says that this paves the way for the safe return to to a normal tourism for our islands. In a press release, he added, the Marianas is open for business as a tourism destination, and we have a proven track record during this entire COVID-19 response through our travel quarantine protocols. Of course, this news coming amid the surge that we're in, at least in the past month, since the first cases were identified on October 28th, we have about 564 cases since then.
Of course, Tomas, your discussions yesterday with the mayors of Tinian and Rota, mayors Atalig and Aldan, respectively, you can find those on our YouTube channel right now. So and we're seeing the views on them have been pretty good. So there's a lot of people up in the NMI really want to know what's going on, especially given the fact that quarantine facilities being considered on both of those islands.
Yes, and I think one of the things that Mayor Aldan Antinian really stressed was that he'd like to be able to have his residents who test positive quarantine at home if they're able to. Obviously, as we've been reporting, the alternate care site, the hospital only exists here on Saipan. So for residents who might not be presenting symptoms or who might be test positive but still be able, not require treatment, he's really hoping that they can stay at home and self-isolate at home. And that's what everyone's waiting for. We have yet to hear from the executive branch in terms of any new protocols or if this will be entertained. Right before we interviewed the Tinian mayor, he said he was about to head into a meeting with the governor and health officials. So we're expected to hear that anytime today or possibly tomorrow morning at their press conference that they hold every week.
All right, real quick, just Tomas, I know because we've been with you on these calls, and the mayors of Tinian, Rota, Esther Munya, the CEO of the CHCC, they speak a lot again, and I touched on this the other day. They have a very up-tempo, friendly, hospitable tone and everything like that. Like their tone in the last couple of days, noticeably more concerned, and I don't want to say worried. I mean, obviously, like they're trying to put all their ducks in a row and consider all outcomes and everything like that. But I mean, it does seem like it's pretty tense up there.
Right. Yeah. And I don't think you'd be wrong to describe it as worrisome. Yesterday was the first we've heard Esther Munya describe the ER as being slammed with people who have symptoms. We did ask, all 4 ICU units at the hospital in Saipan are being used. They want to add at least 2 more rooms. And at the alternate care site at Canoa Resort, there are at least 2 patients there, if I'm correct, and they have the capacity for about 30 beds. And so we know, right, we've been in this, all of us, for, 2 years now. And when you start talking about hospital capacity and being slammed into ER, it is worrisome. So we're going to see that. I do want to note, though, yesterday we also asked about the monoclonal antibody treatment, and she said that they are going to send those treatments to Tinian and Rota, and they want to train the healthcare workers who are on Tinian and Rota on how to administer that treatment. So that's also another part of it. I think one of the things she continues to emphasize is that the difference between last year and this year is that this year we have the vaccines and the treatment. And so they're planning to expand those to Tinian and Rota so that not everyone has to come to Saipan for help every time they need it.
All right, well done. Well, we know you're out there hustling and trying to get, make sense and cover all these different stories and everything like that. But, of course, it goes without saying, we really wish you stay safe, too.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good day.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Tomas.
And now let's go ahead and get to Chamorro News with Uncle King Conception. It's brought to you by First Hawaiian.
Winners and updates to get